All right, so I've been collecting sneakers for over 25 years, and I've never had all four pairs of these Nike Air Max sneakers in my possession at one time until now. Major shout out to my buddy Paul over in Vegas. Right before ComplexCon, these actually released on sneakers as like a local pickup, and he hit on a pair, and selflessly, he actually let me get the pair instead of keeping it himself. So he said, "No, I'm good. I'll wait till next year when they have a general release." And I'm like, I felt so bad, but I also was like, thank you. Like, how could I not allow this moment? So compliments of Paul. Thank you again. This is the moment, man. The Nike Air Max 95 Big Bubble, as it says on the box, finally got the neon like green colorway of the Air Max 95 back. I had a pair way back in the day I got from the employee store. Got rid of them years and years ago, but since then, obviously, they've released so many versions of different like Air Max sneakers that we've like just known and loved. But this is my first time getting the four horsemen, if you will, in the same room. And it's such a beautiful sight because these are my four favorite Nike Air Max sneakers ever. Like, so we'll start here. Obviously, the Nike Air Max 1, the one that started it all, the original colorway. We love this one. This is one that we've seen retroed over and over again, Big Bubble and so on. Then you have the Nike Air Max 90, the infrared colorway specifically. Just tried and true, I think my favorite Air Max out of all the shoes. This is like my favorite Air Max, like probably ever, just because this colorway is the most iconic. The Air Max 90 is my favorite. And then now we have the 95 Air Max with the Big Bubble, and the Big Bubble is beautiful. I will tell you, it is actually pretty darn comfortable. And also, you can't forget the other one that is very iconic, the Air Max 97 Silver Bullet colorway. And this is from the previous retro. So the fact that I have all four of these finally together is like such a rad feeling. And so it's been long overdue. Obviously, I could have paid resale for these ones, but I didn't pay resale for any of them. Like, it's just like one of those things, like I'm the patient dude. Apparently, I'll just wait it out. And at any point, I just could have bought my way into it. But, you know, sometimes it's not what it's about. It's more about just the collector like aspect of something, and knowing that I like these shoes, knowing that I have different Air Max 95s, different Air Max 1s, different, you know, Air Max 97s, but slowly collecting the pieces to finally get the four main ones that I've really grown to love. And I'm pretty sure everybody has grown to love because they are the four like corners of the Air Max lineage. It's just a fun moment to be able to sit and have the four in the collection. So the Air Max 95 Big Bubble is a very interesting one because the release of this is, I'm just confused. I don't understand what happened. These released exclusively overseas, but it was in a very small boutique and had really small limited quantities. I think that they had a couple other small like limited releases in the US in April or so. I don't even know if they actually happened. I don't even remember it. Because it wasn't something that I saw. It wasn't something that I was able to get my hands on. And then randomly in Vegas, they ended up dropping over ComplexCon weekend, but not at ComplexCon, which is very odd. It happened the day before. Luckily, Paul is in Vegas, and he hit on a pair of them, and that's why I have them. So when I did my ComplexCon like haul video, and you guys saw these, and I saw some comments asking about the neons dropping. They didn't drop at ComplexCon. It actually was just the day before, so apologize for the confusion. So supposedly these are dropping in 2026, and I'm assuming they're going to do a massive release when that one happens. I think this shoe made like Complex's like top 10 list as well, but it didn't really release this year. I guess. I mean, it just did like a couple quick strikes. The big release is next year, though, and I bet it won't be on the list for next year. At the end of the day, though, this is a pair that if they made mass quantities, of course, are going to sit. Make them in super limited quantities, and of course, people are going to want to get a pair of Air Max 95s and the original colorway in, again, the Big Bubble. The Air Max 95 obviously came out in 95, so that was a many years ago, 30-year anniversary. Which is wild to think about. But this colorway is specifically so good because you have the black on the midsole, then it gradient fades up with the gray, and then you have white on the top section. You have a black underlay here that is done in mesh, and then you have white mesh for the tongue. You have like this felt charcoal color around the toe guard of the shoe, and then you have a reflective strip on the heel as well as on the tongue that shows a silver. White liner on the inside of the tongue, and that infamous Air Max logo that you have on the tongue is embroidered. I love the look of that. What makes this one great is the neon yellow color. I always call it like laser lime green, but I loved this neon yellow that they have for the laces that comes up, and then also the air bubble. It is also featured on the outsole. So I guess it is technically yellow, but I always thought it was like a lime green. It's such a great neon color. And then you do have the Nike swoosh back here that is embroidered as well. Sergio Lozano is the designer of the Air Max 95, and I guess there are a couple different design inspirations behind the shoe. One was like created in nature, the idea that there's layers of soil which erode in rain and reveal the product. The second inspiration, though, is the complexity of the human body. The heel and the outsole are supposed to represent the spine, serving as the backbone of the design. The nylon eyelets represent the ribs, and the lacing structure up the sides represent the muscles and the fibers and flesh. And now obviously it looks nothing like that, but at the end of the day, I love that they have the inspiration for what helps them like create the different intricate pieces of a pair of sneakers. And this is just a pair that has definitely put its stamp on footwear and is one of the most iconic pairs that we've like probably ever had. Like there's been so many pairs of Air Max sneakers. This is the first one that had it, as far as I remember, that had it integrated in the forefoot as well. And then the Air Max 97 was the full air unit on the bottom. But you know, it started off from a small like vision that was had years and years ago with the visible air unit. Like as a child, like the air unit itself represented so much. It was such a cool futuristic piece of tech. In this day and age, it's not as good. Obviously, I mean, for me, super foams run everything because foams are so soft and squishy and so responsive. Nike Air doesn't really compete with a lot of that stuff. Even though you have the Air Zoom and like the Vomero premiums now, I still don't like the tech as much as it used to be. But this moment that they had 30 years ago, it's still one that we keep reliving in this day and age. And it's one that my kids will be able to relive, like wearing Air Max 95s and so on into the future. So in my opinion, it's just definitely one of the four staples that I show you guys out here. And it's such a fun moment to be able to have them all like together. Anyways, the fit for me on these actually fit true to size. Normally the 95s fit a little bit snug, but this one actually fits perfect. The 95s with the big bubble, true to size. I feel like the shape is definitely more like the original pairs as well. So it is a little bit more true to the OG, which, you know, like people that care about that type of stuff are going to really like this one a little bit more than the last retros. But I will tell you, the big air bubble does make a difference for comfort. It is a lot more comfortable than the standard pairs. The standard pairs, like the Air Max 95 bubbles, are not very comfortable. They're just hard as a rock. You don't really feel any give. This big air bubble, you definitely do feel some give. So I do like that there's some adjustment there, and it does feel a lot more comfortable than previously on the 95s. At the end of the day, it's a huge W for me to be able to have these and complete the main four in the collection. And here we are many, many years later, and then we finally have it done. But appreciate y'all for stopping in and watching. If you guys enjoy sneakers and like watching the content, subscribe to the channel, please. Appreciate anybody that wants to do that. Have a good one, and hopefully see you guys back on the channel for some more sneaker content. All right, peace, guys.